Hello everyone, Old Guy Gaming here, back again with another MTG Arena video, and tonight we're going to be doing Mono Black Aggro in Zendikar Rising Standard. So, we had a little bit of fun last week with some Scoot Swarm, put up a couple of videos with two decks on there, but oddly enough, Wizards happened to mention that there may be a ban coming to Standard relatively closely. So my guess would be by the time that you're watching this video, the info is already going to be out on which cards are going to be banned. And I'm going to take a sneaking suspicion and say that Scoot Swarm is going to be one of those cards. Not necessarily because of the cards being super overpowered or anything like that, that it needs an emergency ban like that. I think it's genuinely causing them issues on the server side for Arena, and it has to go. I also highly suspect that Uro is going to be among the cards in the ban, and potentially Zenith Flare, but I'm not as 100% confident on that one. I know there's a bunch of people that are really hoping that Lotus Cobra gets banned this early in its life cycle in Standard. I'm not in the camp of people that think that that's going to happen. Should it happen? That's probably a different debate. But I don't think that that's going to happen. They haven't sold any packs yet. Like, pre-releases are currently going on. So I legitimately think that they're going to let that run for a few weeks. I mean, if you've seen anything of other broken cards in Standards, that they will run that into the ground so they can sell as many packs as possible before they actually consider banning a card. So if you're, and I could be wrong, obviously I'm going to be proven wrong the day that you're looking at this, so if you're enthusiastic about Lotus Cobra getting banned this early in the life cycle, cool. I don't think that's going to happen. I do, however, think that because of the actual technical issues that Scoot Swarm are causing, and then I know I mentioned it in my other video, but literally the living hell that must be to attempt to officiate that on the table in Paper Magic is just a nightmare. It's a nightmare card. Should never have been printed. It should have been caught in R&D, which it was. I don't know how it wasn't. So yeah. So anyways, that's all of that. So we've gotten away from the Scoot Swarm, and for those of you that are fans of the channel, have been listening long enough or watching long enough, Mono Black is my favorite archetype in Magic, and we lost a lot of stuff. So I've been struggling for the last 2 weeks trying to come up with a good Mono Black deck. I have a semblance of one. I think it's got some legs behind it. And it is admittedly anchoring behind a card that isn't available in paper. So let's kind of go into this one. So I want to talk about the card first and foremost. We lost one of my favorite cards ever printed in Rotting Registrar, the 7/6 for 3 mana. We got Mardu Outrider, and this is one of those arena-only cards. Someone's going to have to correct me if this was ever printed somewhere else. I have a distinct feeling this may have been in one of the original Ravnica sets, and it's just now being brought back into Arena kind of thing. This came in with that whole upgrade where they brought in all those cards, like, just completely at random. So yeah, anyway, so he's a 5/5 for 3. His downside, of course, is you have to discard a card whenever you cast a spell as well. Functionally very similar to what our dear friend Rotting Registrar used to do. He was a 7/6 and you had to discard a card every turn, whereas this one's only a one-time fee. So he comes in as a 5/5, but he's going to get bigger during the course of the day, so I'm kind of okay with it. I really want to see how much legs this card has itself. So let's get to the rest of the deck. Bloodchief's Thirst. Holy cow, am I seeing a lot of this card. 1 mana for sorcery speed to destroy creature or planeswalker with a converted mana cost of 2 or less. Or you can pay the kicker cost for 4 and just destroy a target creature or planeswalker at sorcery speed. I'm seeing a lot of this card. A lot of this card. I've only tossed in 2 because I've only found a certain couple occasions to use it. Plus I have enough removal in the deck I don't need just this. I'm getting a weird visual bug, so I'm going to pause real quick and see if there's something else running in the background. Okay, so I couldn't figure out what it was. I know I'd seen it here a couple of times. I thought it might be. I've turned off a couple of things running in the background on the computer I thought may have caused it, but weird. Anyway, so Bloodchief's Thirst, seen quite a bit of this card. I think that there are better removal cards out there considering the speed, but it is still really good. So I tossed in a couple here on the low end. Foulmire Knight, mostly here for the Death Touch creature, but you do have the option for using it to draw a card and lose a life. That's okay. I do like Death Touch creatures because it does slow down aggro decks quite a bit. Blacklance Paragon, similar in the fact that it can basically double as a removal card. So when they attack you, you can actually drop it down, and it's got, Death Touch and Lifelink. But oddly enough, I find myself using it more at the end of my opponent's end step and just putting it down to have another 3/1 attacking creature on their turn. I've done it in board wipes. Oh, cool, you've wiped the board. Neat. Blacklance Paragon comes down right after that board wipe happens and you're tapped down. And then, there's other stuff that's going to come into play here shortly. Mostly the Demonic Embrace. It's going to be, and all of a sudden you've got this gigantic flying creature you can't deal with. Grasp of Darkness. This is the one that I'm kind of like bouncing back and forth. I've done, Heartless Act. I've done Eliminate. And I keep coming back to Grasp of Darkness. This card was really popular whenever it was originally printed in the first place. For instant speed for a 4/4, I mean, creatures bigger than that, you're going to have creatures on the board that can actually block them out and kill them. And it's instant speed. So it doesn't have to go through any of the, if it has counters on it, you have to remove counters from it, or you can only do, like, it doesn't have to go through any of those other things with, like, Eliminate. They only have to be a certain casting cost. For 2 mana at instant speed removal, I'm okay with this one for now. It's no, it's not, what am I thinking? It's not Terror, for example. That would be awesome to have that back in Standard. But it's a good substitute. For -4/-4, that'll handle most creatures you have to deal with. Tymaret, you've got to have Tymaret. And this is a fantastic card to add into this, especially with all the Uros that are still floating around out there. You can just pull them right out of their graveyard, which is amazing. I think it is picking up the Cauldron Familiar. That's the weird visual bug I'm seeing. Oh, well, we know it's banned in Standard. Here, I'll go to a different page. Maybe that will help. But anyway, Tymaret, obviously he gets bigger as you go with more devotion on the black side. On the table, his toughness gets bigger, but he's actually pretty good in the air if you give him Demonic Embrace as well. So also a cool card to have into the deck. Aria, we're going to put this one in. The more creatures you put in, this is mostly a creature deck, so you're going to be gaining life and losing life. You also have the option for sacrificing creatures to be able to draw more cards. There's a bunch of card draw mechanics in here as well. Demonic Embrace, we've talked about this several times. There are 4 copies of that as well. +3/+1 gains flying and is a demon, if that means anything. The recursion, the fact that you can actually play this out of your graveyard is actually pretty fantastic. You do need to discard a card though to do it, but keeping that in mind. So fantastic card, and a lot of the deck is built behind this, especially like you want to get like the Mardu Outrider to have Demonic Embrace, or the next creature, Haunted Nightmare. This was in my Mono Black value deck. Still love this card. 4/5 with all the removal on the table, you should be able to get away with your opponent not having any creatures at all on the board, and basically it's just a 4/5 for 3, which is pretty darn good. And then Murderous Rider, because we've got other planeswalkers we want to deal with, and then it does leave behind a bit of a lifelinker as well. 3 copies of Rankle, because Rankle's amazing. He's still one of the best cards in Mono Black right now. And then the mana base, super simple. 3 Castle Locthwains and 19 Swamps. That's it. That's the deck. We're going to move on to some gameplay, but before we do, if you feel that I've earned it and you've enjoyed the content, hit the like button, hit subscribe. That's super helpful to the channel. I've been seeing a lot of upticks recently. Every time a new set comes out, I do see a huge uptick in subscriptions, so I do really appreciate it. And I've got a lot more. I do at least 2 to 3 videos every single week. Let me know in the comments down below if there's something that you would like to see. All right, so we've done all that. We've done all the YouTuber stuff. We've taken care of that. Let's go play that. So, admittedly, I'm playing in the play. I'm not playing in traditional Standard. Mostly because I'm really getting sick of the Euro decks. They're everywhere in competitive right now. It's a little rough to play. I'll still probably bump into 1 or 2 or 3 here. This is actually a really good curve. We've got turn 1, removal, drop Haunted Nightmare. Yeah, I like it. Gotta make sure our owl is in the black color. And we will drop our 1/1 Death Toucher and say hello. Breath of Sin, that's an interesting interesting username. Okay, so if they don't drop a creature, we tend to drop Tymaret on the second turn and Joe it and get that easy 1. So if they still don't have a creature by turn 3, that's perfect for Haunted Nightmare. If not, Grasp of Darkness. Lotus Cobra, well, we don't want that sticking around now, do we? So let's just get rid of that right away. Go in and get some damage done. Now, unfortunately, judging by the colors, I'm afraid of what comes next. Yep, that would be the blue. That would be the Euro. Oh, isn't that a shame? That's what Tymaret's there for. So, he has no creatures. Doesn't have enough built up for Arrow, so we might as well go through and get the damage where we can. And on the next turn, we are definitely pulling Arrow out of the graveyard. Teferi, you say? How cute. So I've got a distinct feeling he's going to try to phase out Tymaret. So we're going to drop the other Castle Locthwain. Oh, which way do we want to go? I could destroy the Planeswalker flat out. I need to get Ayara off there. So let's go ahead and take a swing. I'm going to try to take out Teferi and get him off the board fairly quickly. I assume he's going to respond by phasing out Haunted Nightmare, which is fine, because then we'll get Ayara and we'll get Questing Beast out of his graveyard. Draw a card and discard a card. Okay. And pull that out and pull that out.
Think fast.
I'm actually surprised he did that. I would have thought he would have used the -3 to phase out. Interesting. My sneaking suspicion is that he has another one in hand. So Ayara's gone. We've kind of slowed down the tempo of this deck. He's got 2 Teferis in the graveyard that I'd love to pull out. Where do we go from here? The other side, the upside to Tymaret, though, of course, especially with these Ayara decks, is you keep pulling cards out of their graveyard. They don't have the minimum 5 built up so that they can recast Ayara. Sure, you're going to lose him again. You get that, right? So sure, he's going to get the 3 life. There's not a ton that we can do about that. But the second that he does that, we're absolutely pulling that out. Pass. On the end of his turn, we're going to pull at least 1 Ayara and 1 Teferi out as well. So that's 2, not 1, but 2 of his Ayaras already exiled out of the game. Let's go ahead and drop Rankle as well. And really hit him hard. He's probably going to Brazen Borrower the Haunted Nightmare. Cool. Oh, even better. So he lets it go. So where do we go from here? I think we go for another Ayara, or another Rankle. If he's going to counter, he's going to do it now, or he's going to Brazen Borrower the second the Haunted Nightmare, which is fine. Okay. Interesting. We'll still do the damage. So we do want to make sure that that library stays a low enough level so when the second Ayara comes out... Ooh.
I am Zendikar's one true guardian.
Are you now? Neat. Do you know what the casting cost of a land is? It's 0. Just so we're on the same page.
Come to my aid.
Why? Why would you... This is his 3rd one. We're going to exile his 3rd one. Admittedly, this is the only thing that's kept him in the game at this juncture. I would have thought... So we're going to pull Ayara out, and let's pull the Lotus Cobra out too. Gain our life while we're at it. And let's start taking down Nissa. Love the artwork.
Brace myself.
Sure. Cool. His 4th Ayara. Oh god, am I going to enjoy exiling all 4 of them. And again, we've built up we've taken down enough cards he can't cast it out of the graveyard.
We will never stand down.
Okay, cool. So let's go kicker this to remove that. We're going to remove from his graveyard arrow and that. We're going to take out Nissa, hit her with a death touch instead. Go in there.
I shall return.
I think we're doing okay. We've exiled all 4 of his arrows. Cool. Oh, where's the... Oh, we just need one little bit of removal. Look at that. We're just going to go with Rankle. So that's Menace. He can't do anything about that. Sure. Can't block there. We're going to let that go. And then we're going to go ahead and remove Brazen Borrower and the other Teferi. So now he has no cards. He has 1 card in the graveyard. He's got top deck, and I think we're okay. I think we're in a solid position here. We need 1 removal spell to really get this taken care of. Yeah, the drawing of the card is going to be problematic, but... Does that have Vigilance? Sure does. Have not gotten the card we've been looking for, which is Demonic Embrace, interestingly enough. So, let's go ahead and drop her. Drop that down. Go ahead and drop the other one. Sure, he can do that. He can't actually block that and won't block that. I was going to say, he death touched it for that. Okay. So we've got odds and evens. Cool. Lotus Cobra, you say? Alright, well, let's do that. And got him down to 1. This game's taking way longer than I thought it was going to. So he could Extinction Level Event, take out one of these 2. We have another Tymaret if he wants to go down that route. We've already gotten rid of all 4 arrows. Sure. Sure. And that'll be game with our come out right there. So there, we did face the arrow deck, and we had all the answers for it. That's not always going to happen with this deck, I can assure you. That one was a little bit different, too. Like, you don't see a lot of Teferi floating out there. I mean, it's a cool card, it really is. And I think we're going to see a lot more of it. Just haven't seen a ton of it recently. And you would think with its ability to go out and get the extra turn, like, you would see it a lot more. Oh, looks like we have a pack opening. Maybe we get an extra pack at the end of this one. Ooh, look at that. I forgot to turn my watch off. How unprofessional of me. I don't even want to start doing that. Again, looks like all good things. So we will, of course, start with a Death Toucher. And wonder if we're playing against Mono Red. And... Baba Baradako. I don't even know what that means. If someone can explain that to me... Oh, look at that. See? I was just saying, are we playing Mono Red? No, you can have that, good sir. Because we're going to go with Tymaret to give your... At least it's 1 above Stomp, which will be nice. He's going to try to fake me out by attacking me to get so that he can stop Tymaret, which we're not going to let happen. Oh no, Rolling Vortex. Interesting. Okay, so this is where Mono Red really starts to struggle. Is when they have a 5/6 in the air. Sure. I'm actually kind of semi-okay with that. So I'm going to keep the Blacklance Paragon sitting out there on their own for now. His own spell is actually doing more damage for me than his. Robber of the Rich, you say? Sure would be a shame if something happened to that Robber of the Rich. I was going to say, I didn't even get a chance to cast the spell. He already knew it was over. Didn't even get a chance to cast the spell because his own spell was going to kill him at that point. And my plan, of course, would have been that I would have cast another Blacklance Paragon. And, yeah, that would have been it anyway. So, good showing against Mono Red. I don't think that he got all of the best cards, though. All right, let's get one more in. Always like to get all the games in with Mono Black. Easily my favorite. Again, I'm going to have to look that up to see. Maybe I'll do that after the fact for the Mardu Warrior thing. It's a fantastic card. It's just one of those weird things that got dropped in. So this is where there's like this standard that's different than the standard in paper. That's the part that, like, for me, I really have a lot of trouble wrapping my head around the fact that that is actually a thing. Oh no! I'm going to be really popular. And we're going to go ahead and kill that. I got both of them on the draw. Oh, he's going to hate me. That's right. All of the removal, my friend. I mean, you can waste a spell on it. Sure. That's what it's there for. How many creatures we got in the graveyard? Cool, too. No creatures on the table for you, good sir. 4 or 5 is a bit of a tall order for you, my friend. Yep, and he sees it already. He's like, oh, darn. So again, like I said, I don't know that I have this 100% figured out. Those went too quick. We're going to get at least one more in, but it's definitely an okay deck. It's okay. I'm not going to lie. Again, that weird visual bug popping up. So we're going to go one more. One more with Mono Black Aggro. And again, let me know in the comments down below if there's other cards I'm missing. What we're missing really good cards in is in the 1-drop slot. Like, there's not a lot of good 1-drop creatures in Mono Black right now. We had things like, you know, Diagraph Zombies or, you know, Old Gutter Bones, or even like, you know, like those cards there that are really good 1-drops for an aggro deck. Oof. Ooh, there he is, the Mardu Outrider. Can we get him? Mono Blue. I've got a feeling this is Teamer, by the way. Just so we're all on the same page. Because that Teamer Adventures deck is going nowhere. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe not. I've been seeing a lot of... I'm suspicious. Very nice. Well, no, you know what? There are worse. Yeah, this is going to be the Rogues deck. And there are worse Rogues to deal with than him. So we're going to hold up. Like that one, for example. No. How does a 4-2 flyer feel you? Mostly for defensive purposes, of course. Now, the downside, of course, is that Brazen Borrower, I think, is a rogue on top of all the other things that it is. So this deck does, does have a tendency to run that as well. This is part of the key parts to this Rogue Mill deck, though. I do want to build this deck. I'm just building up wild cards to build it, because there's a lot of new rares that you need to get to build this deck. So it is coming. I do want to play this one at least once or twice, because Dimir is a really cool color combination. I don't know how I feel about the mill mechanic overall. I know there's a lot of hate on it. Heartless Act. Look at that. Alright. I don't believe they've left us any other choice. Eventually we're going to get to the flying Mardu Outrider. Rankle. Nice. Very nice. Now, I assume he's going to make us discard a card. Probably the land? Probably. I see you have a Rankle as well. Or we do that. And then we keep the Blacklance Paragon in hold for when he swings in to take care of that. How many counters does this deck run, if any? Yes, yes, I select you. He's got something in hand he's holding on to. Brazen Borrower, maybe? Oh, he's just going to replace it. I'm still killing the creature. That's the whole point to it. You're just preventing the amount of life I'm going to gain from it. Choo. Ooh, 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 ooh. I really debated not doing that. But I really want the 8/6 flyer. I love it. He's even got his own audio. Drawn a lock. Yep, we're getting all the removal spells out. We still have our Rankle floating in our back pocket here. We are running low on removal, though. Now, luckily, he's not really milled us out that much. Oh, which way do we go, George? I say we go with Rankle. No, we're going to hold. Excellent. Excellent. Very nice. So we've got him down to almost no cards, which is a good start. He can swing in for some damage, which is going to be dangerous, but he knows I'll block the flyer. So we're going to take out the knight. Perfect. And we're going to hold. I don't like not holding. I really wish that Rankle would have been another creature. Excellent. Not enough, though. Glasspool Mimic. He's going to go for that. That's actually a really good combo. Oh, very nice. Oh, there's land. All land? A block of 4 land. No, you can have that, good sir. Because I think you've got this game. Otherwise, yep, they're all in the air. They're all in the air. So we're gonna fall to Dimir Rogues. Cool deck. Definitely on my list of stuff to build. So anyway, I do hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments down below how you would do your Mono Black Aggro deck. No, legitimately, I want to know. I think I have this deck close. I think it's just missing a couple of key pieces. So let me know in the comments down below how you would build it. And until next time, guys, we shall see you in the arena. This video was brought to you in no small part by our patrons. If you would like to help out the channel, go to www.patreon.com/oldguygamingmtga, and thank you for your support.